Ebony and welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of my declutter and organisation. So today we're going to go through my cupboard with my whips in. As you can see, it's a mess and I'm just throwing things on the top because nothing fits, and I do want to get rid of a few bags so we're not using them all. So I'm going to go through, find out what's in them, and I'm going to bring you along with me. So, we'll start at the top. So this is my Sugar Plum Village, so that is going to stay. So what I'm going to do actually is get all these out. So that's an empty bag. I'm going to put them to the side. This is my next two Fancy Ladies kitted up minus thread. So kits are going to go in over here. And another kitted up minus the pattern. Kitted up. Kitted up. And then these are all whips. So we'll get all these out. And what I want to do is the kitted up things, because I don't want any more whips, so the kitted up things I'm going to put in Ziploc bags and de-stash a few of these project bags. And then if there's a bag free, it means I can start something new. So there's more down here. Whips. Random stuff. And a whip without a bag. So yeah, we have got quite a bit of sorting out to do in this cupboard alone. So I have my Time Hotel bin here and a bag for rubbish, and any bags that I will be getting rid of I will be donating, de-stashing or anything like that. So I'm going to start off with this top shelf. Like I said, I don't recommend doing too much at one time, so we're going to do one shelf, and then if I have enough time I'll do the bottom shelf as well. So we're going to start off with these kitted things. I'm just going to go and get some Ziploc bags. I'll be right back. So I've got these two boxes. I think they're both different sizes. So we're going to go through and see what there is. So this is for After the Roses by Ink Circles. And this is probably going to be my next non-full coverage start. But I only want one at a time, so this won't be started yet. So it's going to stay as a kit. I'm going to put all the bits and bobs in the Ziploc bag. And that is one bag. This is not necessarily the exact bag that I will be getting rid of, but we'll decide what bags I want to keep once I know how many there is spare. So I'll just put that there for now. This is Nordic Night by Artisy. It's a full coverage that is fully kitted and ready to go. So the bag's going to go over to the side, and I don't know whether this is going to fit. Let's see. Perfect. So I do have it written on the plus card that it's for Nordic Night, and hopefully I won't forget. Well, I won't forget because it's on there. So next up is for a Owl Forest embroidery. This has not got the pattern, so when I start that I do need to buy the pattern. But like I said, one non-full coverage at a time. And then these are my Fancy Ladies, so they can stay as they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have kits in a box. That'll fit that way. And then as I kit things up, if I want to kit things up, I can put them in here. I do want to go back through the Time Will Tell bin to look at the patterns that are in there that I showed you in the last video. So the Tudor Bee, I'd like to get round to that. So I'll probably kit it up and put it in here. And then once this basket is full, we're going to use the container concept. Once this basket is full, there'll be no room for any new ones. So I'm not trying to fill it, but that is my limit. So that is kitted things we're going to put there. So how many bags have we got spare? 1, 2, 3, 4 bags spare. So if I come across a bag that I like less than any of these, I'll swap it and then keep the bags that are my favourites. So looking at them, I don't mind getting rid of any of these. I do make all my own bags, so yeah, they're just handmade by me. So, oh, and we do need a bag for the one that has not got a bag, so we'll get to that. I've got my larger full coverages that I'm going to put here. These are in the larger bags. We have Maiden of Tabataha. Now this is not going to come back out until Sol Tropica is finished. So Sol Tropica's here, and these bags are pretty similar. I'm thinking to bag this up in Ziploc bags, and then once this is finished, it can use this bag. Shall we do that? Let's see. If it fits in a Ziploc bag, then it's meant to be. Because I feel like if I have no bags, like that shows my limit as a physical thing, as like a limit. We've got the bead box. I'm not sure this is all going to fit. We've got the thread. I'm going to put the pattern in backwards so the picture doesn't stick. And then anything extra. As you can see, very fancy organisation here, but it works. So that all fits in there. So that's going to go in my kitted box as well. And when I've finished Sol Tropica, I can come to this and carry on with that. It's another bag free. Sol Tropica. We have painted Wildlife of Predator. In fact, I'm going to put all my big bags here, like I said. It won't stand there. So these take up quite a lot of room. So I'll get them in first, and then we can see what we're dealing with space-wise. Because this is the only space that I want width. I might move the kitted down to the bottom shelf if we make room down there, but we'll see. And then whips. We're just going to start putting these in. This needs taking off the nurse hoop, but I'll do that after. Forgot what was in there. Whips. So it's already getting tight. So as I pull something out, is it going to be easy to put back in? That's what I'm really looking for. And these are whips. These are my temperature stitching, so I don't know how to keep these separate. We'll figure that out in a second. This is the bag for my chatelaine, and I have decided that I'm only going to have one fancy project at a time. Either fancy lady or chatelaine is still fancy. So I'm thinking whether to put this in a kit bag and just kind of get rid of another bag. I'm going to keep this in here just because I don't want to lose anything and the papers that are with it. So I use the PDF, but I have the paper pattern as well, and I don't want to lose the paper pattern, and I don't think it would fit in the Ziploc bag anyway. But this bag is going to go in the kitted box, even though it isn't a Ziploc bag. So we're going to put that right at the back because it's the biggest. And then, just looking into my time will tell, I can see there is another bag here. So we're gonna put this into a kitted bag because we're not starting this yet. And as you can see, I do go through this really fast. I don't want to sit here deliberating for ages and ages. So I just quickly rifle through, see what I can find, and then I get on with my day because I have better things to be doing than sorting out this stuff. And then my temperature stitching. So like I said, I might keep this separate. What I might do is put the kitted on the bottom shelf and put the temperature stitching up here and see if we can get some of this box free to put these in. So I'm going to put these here for now, and we're going to go through. Oh, we still need to put this in a bag. So this is for her journey, and I started it in that much of a hurry, I didn't even put it in a bag. So we're going to put all that in there. This is one of my favourite bags, so I do want to keep this one. And it's still in its Q-snap because I'm hoping to get back to it this month, so I'm going to keep it in the Q-snap and just keep them together with the bag. So as you can see, that's too tight for that to go in there. I'm going to put this with my temperature stitching for now until we make a bit more room. So I'm going to go into the bottom shelf and try and make some room. So far we've got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags, but we still have stuff that needs to go in the cupboard. So in this box, we have some quilting fabrics that are left over from a quilt I was making. I am going to put this with my finishing stuff in my Kallax unit because they're nice and basic, so I think these could be good for finishing. So that needs rehoming. I've got 2 Q-snaps here, and nearly took my eye out. These are the long stretch bars for my scroll frame. They're a bit too long. I am going to keep them on hand, but these have to go with my frames, so if they fit, which they should fit, they're going to go in there, so they need to be rehomed. I have the pedal for my sewing machine, so I'm going to put that with my sewing machine. Rip dies, I have 6 different colours. They're going to need to find space in my supplies. Like I said, this is only for whips and my sewing machine. This is what I use to mix up dye, but they're not very good for that because obviously it's really hot water. So I'm going to put these in the kitchen and we're going to use them up, but they're not suitable for crafts, so they need rehoming. We have a bag of Wonder clips, quilting clips. These are good for finishing when you're trying, if you've glued anything or you're holding anything in place temporarily, these are good to use for that. So they're going to go in my finishing drawer. These are sewing threads and some rotary blades to go with my rotary cutters. So these can stay with my sewing machine. There is a little compartment in the front of the sewing machine, so I'm going to try and put them in there. And then these can go with my finishing. One can go in my kitten for cutting fabric, and one can go in my finishing for cutting anything else, fabric, foam core, stuff like that. And then this is diagonal seam tape, that is for my sewing machine, so that needs to go with that. And we have an empty box. So I'm gonna put my kitted stuff down here because we don't need to access that all the time. And then, let's see, if we put my temperature stitching in here, and this is my temperature stitch as well, put them in there. Oh, is this gonna fit? And then try and squeeze these in. This is not ideal, having these separated, but I don't want to take that off the Q-snap just yet. So it looks like we only just fit. I will have to make a conscious effort to, when I take something out, to put it back in neatly instead of throwing it on the top. But we have a little bit more room. So I'm going to try and fit these. They're not going to fit in there. I'm going to put these with my finishing things, or with my fabric, because I only really use my sewing machine to zigzag around fabric. So I'm going to put that over there, and that can fit in there, and then the pedal can go there. These are the bits and bobs that came with my sewing machine, so I'm going to put them with that, so that all fits nicely. And then we just have a few bits to go through. So these are the bags that are left over after getting the whips condensed and kitted things out of these bags. So I'm going to put this in my Time Hotel bin. These are probably going to be giveaways. I mean, they have been used and they are a bit, well, they're used. So we'll see about those. And then I'm going to take you back into my front room where we're going to go to the Kallax unit and show you where everything is going to live. So we're back into my front room and we're going to put away these bits that I've been rehomed. So I don't think these are going to fit. They would probably fit if I put them down. Let's see. Yeah. Oh. So I probably will tidy up that drawer at some point, but for now, while we're just getting everything away, we're just gonna throw it in there. And these two as well. So they go in there nicely and they fit. And then we have the RIT dies. I am worried about these leaking in my drawers, so I'm going to take this Easy Guide fabric out of here and have these with my finishing bits in there. We've got, what did I say, one for finishing and one for fabric cutting. So one for finishing. These are going to go with the finishing stuff. And we have finishing fabric. Now this drawer doesn't look like it's got much room, so If it doesn't fit, we can't keep it, and that is my rule. So we've got all that in there, and that should fit at the back there. And then what are we going to do with this? So we have got 2 empty things, but I don't want to use a full empty. I'm just going to put this in one of these empty things, and this can be my easy guide drawer. Seeing as though it is empty and I don't really have anything yet to put in there. And then we're going to keep that with the easy guide fabric, and that is everything put away. So I've just seen another whip, but I am working on that at the minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave things as they are for now, and then when I've had more time to think about it and live with the way things are for a little while, I'll decide on if I feel like I need to get rid of more. If it's still getting messy, like that cupboard was today, then to me that is a sign that there is too much in there. And we will at some point go through the time will tell bin. We need to put away that thread, the bag of DMC, and yeah, just finishing touches really. So now all my craft stuff is in here, and my whips and my sewing machine are in that cupboard. There is no other craft stuff anywhere else. Thinking about it, there is some batting that I'm going to put in this empty box here that we emptied from the crochet stuff. I'm going to put that in there, and then there is no more anywhere else. So yeah, we've got a few more jobs to do, little jobs that I will bring you along for the journey. But other than that, everything looks pretty good, pretty tidy. And then if organisation is something you want to invest in, that is best to do after you've decluttered and got rid of the excess, because otherwise you're going to spend money on organisation, bins and baskets and all different storage systems, and you're going to be storing things that you don't actually want to keep. So now would be the time to start thinking about storage systems. Eventually I do want to get the bead storage, but all my beads are kitted up at the minute. I don't have any spare, so that is not something for right now. And yeah, so that's all I have, and we're gonna get those extra jobs ticked off as and when, probably in the next few days. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, and the next video will be me probably going through the time will tell bin. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.